we almost got Florian Friday. It's not 100% done, but everything's agreed, so we're going to roll with it. People, sit back. You know what it is. Let's go.
Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Afternoon, everyone. It's Kopish Kollab. We're back in the building. The show you all love on a Friday. I'm going to call it Florian Friday just for the hell of it, because we all know what's happening. Obviously, when he's actually in the Liverpool shirt is when it is, but maybe it will be a week from now. Boys, how's everyone feeling?
Feeling great. We broke the Callum curse.
Well, let's not jump the gun yet.
No, it's no we out here. There's no we out here. I never heard a Liverpool community curse. It was a cow curse. I broke the curse. There's no we here. You lot threw me under the bus numerous times.
Mm-hmm.
It's the cow curse you called it, not the Cal Hassam Tom curse. It was the cow curse. We didn't break anything. I broke this. And Isak's next.
No, I broke the curse because I'm the one that told you. Go ahead, speak. And you did it. Let's go.
I was going to speak anyway, Sam. I'd already said it.
Oh, here we go. You literally
came
came on the Tuesday show and said, "Can I say his name?" I said yes.
No, but I'd said it already.
Oh,
I'd said it already. The Callum curse is done.
You're going to lie publicly now.
Do you know what? Sam, who do you want us to sign? You name a player. Who do you want us to sign?
You're not the guy, pal. You're not the guy.
All right, we'll see.
Don't overdo it.
I know. I'll yeah. Calma.
Still hating.
Yeah, don't overdo it.
Still hating.
I'm trying to get the Isak stuff done, bro. Just let me see whether this is actually a curse broken or not, brother, before we get too carried away. But no, let's. Where do you lot want to start? I want to be shameless and kind of start with Mbeumo rejects Man United to follow Thomas Frank to Spurs, but that's just me being an arsehole. I don't know. Where do you lot want to start?
Did that happen for real?
Yeah, check Sky.
Not officially, but he's been quoted of saying Tottenham is more intriguing to him than Man United.
Of course, he's more intriguing. There's nothing intriguing there.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The way they were celebrating last week as well, that they signed in Mbeumo and they got no Champions League, but they're still this amazing team with Paul trying to say Liverpool ain't got no Paul and all this stuff. Now they can't even get Mbeumo. That is hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious.
Hey, guess what? We can't get Mbeumo either because he's late to the stream. Shout out to Matt. Anyway, I think
we can ask him why you rejected United when he comes on.
Yeah, if he comes on. I think they have the same hairline as well. That's why he wears a hat the whole time. Thing is,
oh shit,
bro!
I thought you lot were tag team partners.
Cal, you know how he does this when he's not here, but when he's here, it's all buddy.
Wow! Clip that, people! Clip that.
I want people to remember this when Matt turns up.
The tag team's imploding. Wow!
Our tag team will never implode. It's just a bit of banter, just like when he brought up Love Island. It's just a bit of banter. He accepts my banter. It's okay.
Oh, I see. Grudges are held. I love it. The pettiness.
All right.
like it was banter when you slagged off anime. Was it anime that you liked? Yeah, anime.
Oh.
Yeah, anime. Yeah. Matt watches anime. Ali, if you want the name remove the two T's.
Matt Mbeumo is diabolical, Ali.
Yeah, you need to remove the two T's. Mbeumo is better.
That's outrageous.
Oh man. No, but on the real though, boys, where do you lot want to start? Hassam, Tom, you lot are the guests. The floor. Where do you want to start today?
I think
boys?
Tom should decide because we bully him every time, and I'm against bullying. I'm completely the type of guy I don't like to mock people or anything. So I think Tom should be given the floor to represent himself how he.
All right, I tell you what we'll do. We'll literally just get out of the way, and we won't spend more than a minute on it because Tom has to talk about it. Wants to talk about it. I don't know if anyone else wants to talk about it. I'm on Tom's side, as in I also was shouted at and ridiculed and told.
No,
that
I don't need to talk about
things too much.
People in the comments wouldn't want to do this for the 4th time in a row. I'm just simply here to collect apologies from people who sat here and called me every name under the sun for saying that Trent was a rat and a disgrace. Because that man sat there for the last 2 years instead of learning how to defend the back post and focusing on committing for Liverpool. His focus going into every game was, shit, have I done me Duolingo today? So, I just want my apologies for seeing through the rat. 4 years it's been in the works. But I was told, no, he's just made the decision now. No. I can see through it.
Yeah, I told you don't hang out with all the Real Madrid players and sign Real Madrid shirts and do all that crap if there is an ulterior motive. But if it was a little kid, I don't care. It's a Real Madrid shirt. You're a Liverpool player. We signed in a Real Madrid because he knew he was going in. And you know what the crazy thing is, Tom? Didn't you love yesterday the way he tried to do that? Let me correct myself. It's just been
that's the most tracking back I've seen him do.
It's just been a few weeks when I said I've been waiting for this for a long time. 2 weeks isn't a long time, big man.
I've never seen him track back like that.
You let the cat out of the bag. The truth has come to light.
I've never seen him track back like that. Never on the pitches that man tracked a runner like that. But the moments he could have potentially fucked up his lovely little scheme. Oh no, I obviously meant 2 weeks ago. Bollocks, you meant 2 weeks ago. You meant 2 years ago. We all know that Duolingo account was created in November 2021. We all saw that 500-day streak. We see through your lies.
We do. So look, we won't talk about it anymore. It's been rinsed. He's done. He's gone. He's dead to me. I'm sure most people feel that way now, but it is kind of cool to just.
I've got a new toy now. Body Wirtz.
That's a pause.
We have.
Good.
That is not a pause, man.
I'll be speaking about another man as a new toy still. That's outrageous work still.
Okay, please. We got the immature 45-year-old on the stream today.
Yeah, you're so
mature. I'm just saying.
You let have grandkids, Callum, and you're doing this.
I'm just saying, Tom, you haven't helped yourself in recent weeks with the turtleneck stuff, and gotta be mindful of what you say, bro.
See, he's talking about my tag team. Watch their tag team. See,
we don't have a tag team. Me and Tom already said that we had a.
So stop trying to get it to me and Matt. Don't worry, we can banter each other and still be a tag team.
We mutually said
you guys both abandoned each other. It's dead.
Yeah, we did.
You guys are both done.
We had to. Our tag team was toxic. We had to.
I was fine with it. It was just someone couldn't handle it.
Of course you were firing me, Tom. I was the one getting all the flack every week, bro.
Someone just couldn't handle a little bit of pressure.
You wanted Nico Pads instead of Florian Wirtz, bro.
Well, I never said instead of. I just didn't think we'd be in conversations.
Hassan, you saw the team sheets he put out, right?
I didn't think we were in conversations with Florian Wirtz.
No, he never put Florian Wirtz.
I didn't think we'd be in conversations with Florian Wirtz. At least I'm not someone who was, sitting there going, "Oh, I want us to sign Nico Schlotterbeck. There goes his knee. Oh, I want us to sign Ando Stiller. There goes his knee." Like a fucking hitman. You're like John Wick to footballers. Mention then, it's like someone slides a contract to you and it's just take out their ACL, take out their MCL.
Honestly, Tom, you're missing the latest one, bro. We don't need a midfielder. Visetic is coming back.
Oh, yeah. Paul Bichetti's have to go to a fucking emergency.
I never once said we don't need a new midfielder. I said I want us to sign a midfielder, but we sell Endo and Bichetti take Endo's spot.
Can you guys hear this in the background?
Was that a dog barking?
No, that's a fighter jet.
Oh, I can't even hear anything.
Oh.
But let's move on to the positives, guys. It is official. It is official. Liverpool have agreed the fee. 100 million, rising to 116 million with the add-ons. They're saying at the moment. I'm not sure. There's been a few conflicting reports. Some people are saying it's a little bit more. Are any of you guys bothered about how much it is?
No.
In any way?
No. The best part is it's not even a fucking British record transfer yet. It only becomes a British record transfer if we win the Champions League. And at that point, I'll pay whatever it takes. So I don't really care. You're getting the best number 10 on the planet for 100 million quid. That's a mega deal. I know that you'll get conflicting reports. The Germans will say it's a lot closer to 150. We're saying it's a lot closer to 116. Reality is probably somewhere in the middle. But I don't really care. I'll pay what it takes to get him. He's the best available player in any position this window. He's a top 10 player in the world. And he's turned down City he's turned down Bayern and he's turned down Madrid to come to us. So I'll pay whatever it takes to get him. It's a sign of ambition. It's a statement. And the best part is, according to Joyce, it's just the start. So, you know, it's not going to be a case of Florian Wirtz comes in and we leave everywhere else short-staffed. We're going to get Kerkez done, get some sales out, and then go again, hopefully, for a top number 9.
No, I agree. I mean, when I first heard the report that said we paid the whole 150, I did think we'd been fleeced a bit. We'd been bent over a barrel because we were told that only Bayern Munich had to pay that much. And then once no one else was in the competition anymore, then all of a sudden, no matter who it is, we still want the same amount. That is a little bit cheeky from them on their end.
It was never like official, that though, was it? It was just kind of like murmurings. It was like, oh, they probably put a Bayern tax on it. In reality, that was just their asking price. And it was always.
But again, I did say I'm not really bothered because it's not our money. We've been saving up this money. I think the only thing that makes me a little bit bothered about how much we spend is we have to be realistic about how much money there is in a kitty to do everything we need to do because of PSR and all that kind of stuff. So I'm only bothered about the fee if it means that we can't go and get another super talent as well, which is, you know, what I'm currently trying to manifest, what I'm trying to figure out, because there is a Swedish striker that plays at Newcastle who would be the perfect way to end the window.
We're all hoping for tense contract negotiations that fall through, aren't we?
For whose negotiations?
For some tense contract negotiations in Newcastle to fall through and a player to start getting disgruntled. That's what we're after. Yeah,
well, I mean, again, you can't believe everything.
That's the only way they'd sell him. That's the only way they'd sell Isak, is if the contract negotiations went wrong and he started getting a bit antsy, and they go, we can't let him run this deal down.
Well, here's the thing. From what I've read, and again, you can't believe everything you read, but from what I've read from kind of credible sources, Isak is getting a little bit edgy at the thought of not being able to leave Newcastle while his stocks are high and capitalize and get a big move. So apparently within himself, he's just thinking, what better time after delivering a trophy for Newcastle would there be for me to take that next step in my career? Because you got to remember, when you are a player of his caliber, he's 26 now, 25, 26. He's probably thinking, I don't want to wait until I'm a little bit older where maybe I am declining a little bit, or maybe a club as big as a Liverpool don't want me anymore. I want to move now while everything feels right. That's what I've read. Again, I don't think he'll actually be angry if he doesn't move, because he does actually like Newcastle. He enjoys being there. He doesn't have an issue with being at Newcastle. But the player himself recognizes, right now, I'm the hottest commodity. Why not get the move in case in a year or two's time, I can't get that move that I want?
His worry will probably be that in a year's time, but the two clubs that could keep him in the Premier League and match his ambition in Arsenal and Liverpool, there's a very realistic opportunity that in a year's time they won't need him because they'll have bought someone else.
And that as well, if they do buy forwards, then they're not going to
because neither us or Arsenal can wait. We can't go into next season and go, let's run it back one more time. We can't. Nunes is going to go. Diaz is probably going to go. Run it back with who? Diogo Jota playing 38 games. Fuck that. So we can't wait to get a striker. We have to get one in this window. Now, whether Isak angles for the move or not,
Tom, I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro, because I would argue if we got Rodrigo, I think we could play Diaz as the false 9 with Rodrigo for a season.
You think Diaz is staying?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
I think we've... without saying the word, we've done as much as we can to say we'll sell him this window.
No, but remember, plans do change, you know what I mean? Like, so if we bought in Rodrigo and we couldn't buy the striker we wanted, I think we'd run Diaz up front for a season. Rodrigo on the left with Gakpo, Wirtz now in the 10, and then you play Diaz
I think
up
it's
front.
very bold to assume that Diaz stays this season. In my eyes, anyway. It just, with the whole story coming out that it's we'll reject the Barca offer, but we don't want to give him a new contract, even though he's only got 2 years left and he's 29. That to me is basically going, we want money, but if you pay it, we're going to let him go, obviously. Not a case of, we're not accepting any offers. We're getting this deal tied down. Gonna get it all done. Yeah. No, it's a case of we'll sell him. We're just not selling him for fucking Barca money.
I think we're trying to keep our powder dry because we haven't got Isak through the door, and there's still obviously little rumblings going on. That's what I think, because I don't think we sell Diaz if we buy Isak. So, you know what I mean?
Sam's a menace. People can't see what he's done, but he's a menace.
No, what have I missed?
It's the reply. He hasn't clocked it.
He doesn't realize.
I'm not involved in any of this.
Hello,
I
Brian.
don't know what's going on.
Hi, Brian.
Oh, that's what we're doing.
Not me.
Bremo.
Not me.
You know what? I don't even care. It's Florian Friday. I don't care about him, Bremo, bro.
I'm just
Florian
saying.
Friday.
Keep your
I
friends.
don't give-
now
I don't
I've
give a
seen it.
damn.
Facts.
Keep your friends close.
yeah,
and
that-
your
yeah,
partners
just-
close.
yeah.
and
I
that,
don't
innit?
give a damn, bro. If I'm Matt and Bremo, cool. If it means we get Florian Wirtz, all right, cool. You know them ones. I don't care.
Plus,
bro.
he's a very good player, and he rejected Man United, so it's two good things. See?
Look at
Oh,
him,
is
Sam,
that
trying
why
to
you
spin
said
this into
Spurs,
a
but he's
positive.
not going United?
Yeah, today Sky Sports.
Have you
is
not
big,
seen
but-
the quotes from Mbeumo,
No.
Matt? Yeah, he said Spurs seems way more intriguing than Man United.
No way.
Remember Thomas Frank's just gone Spurs, so he must have been like, bro, just follow me Spurs, isn't it?
João Pedro
That
might be
is
going to Newcastle
crazy.
as well to open the door.
João
for
Pedro's
Isak.
going to Newcastle. You lot aren't seeing the part of the plan, are you? You're not seeing it.
Oh, now we believe Isak might be. Whatever, man. You lot. I said this from time.
Hold on, wait, what we do?
I
Cow,
said
you
Isak
get
Liverpool.
carried
I said
away.
Isak
Hold on.
Liverpool.
So
Oh, no,
let me
no,
get
no.
this straight. So Mbeumo is rejecting Man United to potentially go to Spurs, and Newcastle are reportedly trying to get João Pedro.
Mhm.
That can only mean one thing in it. We know what
Yeah,
that is.
I know.
Hugo
And you know what
Ekici
that
Liverpool. Here we go. That's what it means.
My,
We spent
Back,
too much
back,
money
back,
on
back to
Vladian.
the topic, though.
I like
do any,
Ekitike. I take Ekitike. I'm not mad.
Same.
do
same.
any of you guys believe that too many players being like too much of a rotation could be damaging, or are you lot like, nah, quality's quality? Because there is a lot of talk about, like, for example, you're just saying Diaz going. If Diaz goes, then you're almost thinking who is actually going to
Realistically,
be the
though,
replacement.
how many starters are going? So a lot of players might be moving on this season, but how many of them were regular players for us last season? Diaz is one. Outside of that, Simicast maybe, but again, Robertson was the first choice left back. Simicast barely plays.
But Diaz is an important part of that, though.
Yeah, but Diaz is one. Diaz is one of the starters that's going. Outside of that, there's not another starter. leaving.
Well, let's be honest. Nunes, Jota, and Diaz are all starters in their own right. So that is three
Nunes-
starters. Go.
Nunes-
I
is
don't
the
think
starter.
Jota's leaving. No, I don't know why. I think it's more. I mean, I'm not saying he can't leave, but I think it's more Nunes. Like, if you look at the players that we've signed so far, yeah, let's just say Kirkes is there because I think he's going to be there sooner or later.
I think that one's done. I think that.
Yeah,
one's
so let's
done.
say Kirkes starts. I think Frimpong has a battle with Bradley, so that's not guaranteed. And obviously,
No,
Florian
I
Wirtz,
think Frimpong starts, Matt. I think he starts.
I'm not sure on that just yet. I think there might be a bidding in period. We have to wait and see. So I don't think it's guaranteed like Kirkes. I think Kirkes is guaranteed more so than Frimpong. Then obviously we know Florian Wirtz is going to start.
Yeah. I agree with
So
that.
I would say right now there's only 2 guaranteed starters, but third could be a possibility. That's not too much change in my opinion, because we got to look at it as things stand. Diaz is
Well, there's
still
4
here.
because Wirtz is replaced with Sobo. Sobo's not leaving, but it's still a first team replacement. So that would be 4 from the first team that would be replaced.
Well, 3 if you. Oh no, yeah, 4.
Because
That's
Sobo's
if-
not leaving, but he's still
Yeah.
replaced, right? Wirtz is going to play 10. And I don't think Soboslai is going to move Gravenberch or Mack out the pivot just yet. So that's Sobo to the bench now.
I mean,
So that means
it
Kirkes starts,
depends
Frimpong
on if we're
starts,
going to do the
Wirtz
Wirtz left wing thing.
Look, I'm
This is
just
what
saying,
I was gonna say.
I'm just saying, I'm not trying to create narratives because I love that we're doing this. But if we do shot Diaz and we do shot Jota and Nunes and we do buy a striker, and
We won't
potentially
get
a
rid of
left
both
winger.
Nunes and Jota. I'll be honest, I'm with Matt. I think Jota stays for another year. There's not the market for Jota after this year, and he'll he's the one that's got the lowest value anyway. How much would someone pay for Diogo Jota at this point in time with 2 years left on his deal? Like, there's no market to sell Jota, and ultimately he's also the one with the potentially biggest upside off the bench. If he can just find a little bit of form off the bench next season, you've got someone who's a real weapon who you can bring on and he can score goals. Diaz, we know what Diaz is, and there's a lot of money potentially on offer for him, and Nunes is never going to work out. So I think those two are the ones that go. You bring in, minimum one, maybe two forwards, and then you see from there. But I think that the plan ultimately is to get the Kerkez deal done after this. So Wirtz will be wrapped up, I think, by Tuesday at the latest. Kerkez by the Friday. And then the next week after that will be focused on getting sales, getting Nunes out the door. Maybe it is time then to get offers in for Elliott and figure out what we're going to do with him. Tsimikas, maybe buy Leverkusen, come in with that offer for Quants, even though I wouldn't sell him. There's a potential lot of money on offer there. I think that'll be the focus there. And then it'll be back to attacking the market for, I still think if you want to nail everything this window, after you get Kerkez and Wirtz and Frimpong, you still need at least one forward. We'd still really benefit from getting another DM in, and you probably need a centre back.
Let me ask you a little question, and I'll start with you, Matt.
Sorry, I was gonna say this before you say that though. I want to say this though. Let's say the unthinkable happens, and that is not unthinkable, but let's just say Diaz isn't sold, right? And Diaz is now playing the striker role, rotating alongside Jota. Would you lot be happy with that, knowing that we've got Wirtz in the door, Kerkez, Frimpong, and potentially another player? Or you lot still thinking we should have got another striker in?
I can answer your question by also asking a question, which is an oxymoron or whatever you say. But because I was going to ask you lot, and I'll start with you, Matt. If I told you lot right now, Isak's done, the smiles on everyone's faces would be incredible. And if I told you all that Nunes and Diaz had to be sacrificed in order for that to happen, how would you lot feel that the only benched forward would be Jota? So it'd be Gakpo, Mo, Wirtz, Isak, and then only Jota on the bench for the forward line. Would you lot rock out with that, considering Isak isn't injury prone, but you've always got that slight worry, and you don't know if Jota's even going to be ready if that time comes. And then there's no backup left wing, and there's no backup right wing because Chiesa goes as well.
I take that and experiment with some of the youngsters as the backup. So I think Ben Doak could be a serviceable backup on if needs be. I think he had a very good year at Middlesbrough.
No, but let's be honest though, Tom. Even though I hit like Rio is potential, Doak is potential. If we're in a Champions League, Premier League race, and you've got to play Rio or Doak in an important game, I can't lie to you. That is just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, me personally,
but you're not going to go into it. Even though I get your point, we're not going to go into it with just four. I think that if you had to sacrifice Diaz and Nunes to get Isak, some people may die, but it's worth it. Off you go, Saudi. Enjoy Al Ittihad or Al Nassr or whatever. Get me Isak, and then I'll scrounge around with 40 million quid to buy myself two young forwards. If I can get him,
I'm telling you that doesn't happen.
He's saying
no. There's no way that doesn't happen. Though. There's no way we go into the season with one forward line backup.
Bro, we've done it with defense and midfield before. Like,
yes,
what's the difference between striker?
Because we've been stung by it before.
Yeah, but have we really learned our lesson? I don't know. I really don't know.
I'd like to think that the attack is the one area which they've never played around with, bar that fucking Ricky Lambert, Fabio Borini, Mario Balotelli saga. Outside of that, they don't really mess around with the.
Oh yeah, to be fair to Tom, Thomas in the chat, we do have Dan still. I forgot about Dan's.
What was more important for everybody though at the start of the window? Was it Florian Wirtz or was it Isak? What do you think the team needed more?
Isak,
of course. But here's the thing. Now I always use this example. I use it again. The best available player in the transfer market this transfer window was Florian Wirtz. Available, I'm saying available, where you don't have to fight or anything. The guy wants to leave Bayer Leverkusen, and we would have been stupid to not put our ourselves in the running for that, because he ended up choosing us, which is obviously amazing. according to Ben Jacobs as well, the price tag's only £100 million, which is literally Jack Grealish money. So the fact that we got him for Jack Grealish money is actually mad. So for me, look, this is just me being honest. We did what the Portland Trailblazers should have done in the Michael Jordan draft, where they drafted someone else because they needed a center. And then there was one guy telling them, draft Michael Jordan and play him at center because he's so good. That was the point that he was trying to
figure it out, basically.
Yeah. When you have a player that's this good available, you have to divert your plans a little bit. Now we can still go buy a good striker, but I don't think we can't go ahead and continue this without a striker. So we still need a striker. We still need someone who can put the ball in the back of the net. And if it's not a striker, then it's a left winger who can put the ball in the back of the net. I don't think we can run it back with Diaz, Jota, whoever. Like we just can't run it back. We need someone new. We need someone fresh. We need someone who can put the ball in the back of the net. And even if it is not Isak, it doesn't have to be just Isak or nobody. We can go sign players. Ekitike is a good player. He's got all the fundamentals of football. His underlying metrics are all great. You know, yes, his conversion rate ain't the highest, but he has all the great underlying metrics. So I take him. You know, there are good strikers around in Europe that I think would make us better.
Maybe Simeone wants to fix Nunes, and he's willing to part ways with Alvarez to do it.
Say that again.
Maybe Simeone wants to fix Darwin Nunes.
Yeah, I mean, we read that Atletico is an interested club. You got Napoli as an interested club. You could get Osimhen. There's many ways you could go about this. But at the end of the day, we need to get someone. There's even John Duran, who's available on loan from Saudi Arabia for a year if you want to do a stopgap till Isak is available.
We're not that desperate.
I'm saying if you want to do a stopgap till Nunes is that available.
In my opinion, he's a good stopgap. He is a good stopgap.
Good
hopefully we don't have to go down that route, though. Yeah.
Like if the club say we want to sign Isak next summer and Duran is a stopgap for a year, I take that on loan.
I would.
There ain't nothing wrong with John Duran, you know. So yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, hold that, Jerry. You drafted someone ahead of MJ. You completely hold that. He could have had 6 championships in the 90s. So yeah. That's what I think. I think we need to get someone, even if it's a stopgap. You get Mateta for a year or some shit. I don't know. Just get someone.
I hate it. In regards to what Tom was saying about he would do that, Drift, what you was talking about, I think it's a bit too risky personally to do that because we're leaving ourselves, I think, way too short. And we know Jota's availability, again, it seems like it's just getting a bit worse and worse. I know last year, this just gone, was very unlucky. The way how it was a punctured lung when someone fell on it. That's just awkward, but he is known for picking up other injuries as well. So I don't think you can do that. I think that's too much of a risk.
It depends what you see with the depth, though, doesn't it? So like if in this scenario, I've got the front four, which is Salah, Gakpo, Wirtz, Isak, and then I've got my backup for Isak is what's his name? Jota. That's it.
Yeah.
Right wing, I keep Ben Doak. And I give Ben Doak that spot. And then I've got to do left wing and attacking mid. Left wing and attacking mid, I could realistically cover with Szoboszlai. Because he's not starting now. So if you're not starting, you can be a backup in 2 positions. Because it's very rare, bar cup games, where I'd probably be more willing to play a Dan's or an Engamoa or something, because it's a cup. It's very rare that I'm going to go into a Premier League or a Champions League game with neither one of Gakpo or Wirtz starting.
Do you know what it is, though, Tom? I've got a weird feeling that we're just jumping the gun a bit and thinking that Szoboszlai is not going to start. I have this weird feeling that Wirtz is going to play left because the club have already internally agreed that Diaz is going to go. So if Diaz goes, Wirtz takes Diaz's place. Obviously, he's still got Gakpo there as well. So I think Szoboszlai might have been... It sounds crazy.
I think it's obvious that Wirtz just starts.
I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen. I'm just saying it wouldn't be out of the realm for this to happen where you got Wirtz doing the old school Coutinho role, where you got Coutinho kind of like the hybrid winger / midfielder. Like I can see Wirtz doing that and Szoboszlai still being in the starting lineup. I'm not saying that I would do that, but something just tells me the profile that we're signing is someone that can create. He could, obviously, he's a technician. For me, he's a Coutinho replacement. He's the closest thing I've seen to Coutinho at Liverpool since he's gone. That is like, I know he's a natural 10, but I just still seeing him playing out wide. Not only that, when he...
So, Bob,
Yeah.
Slot's always played with a 10. He's bringing in Wirtz to play how he plays.
I'm
He's
not
not gonna put
not
him on the wing, bro.
But what I'm saying is Soboslai's importance to the team, in my opinion, I don't know whether Slot has figured out a way where we could not have him in the team and still be just as effective defensively.
You can't in the big games, but the games
within the pivot,
teams,
Yeah, I'm saying.
I think he'll play him in the pivot if he's going to play him. I don't.
No,
think
I
he'll
think
play
he
him in
will,
the
but
10.
I don't think we should automatically just assume because we're signing Wirtz, automatically that means Soboslai just hits bench. I don't think it's as simple as that. I think there will be games when Soboslai gets rested because I do think he gets overplayed. But don't be surprised if you see Soboslai on the 10, Wirtz on the left. Doesn't mean when I say Wirtz on the left,
I'd be very surprised. As
we're
much
not talking
as I get
touchline
what
winger.
you...
We're talking Coutinho-esque how he played.
Yeah, but you've got to look at what we've. So when you look at the way our fullbacks play,
yeah,
even though we're signing 2 really attacking fullbacks, I don't think they're going to be touchline fullbacks. Not going to be running chalk on the boots up and down constantly. I think our fullbacks next season are going to be making a lot of these inside runs.
No, I disagree.
I think they will be.
Kirkes and Frimpong are vertical defenders. They are literally byline. You go watch. If you want to get the best out of Kirkes, you don't want to bring him in field. That's ain't Nori. If you want to get the best out of Kirkes, he goes out wide. He's slinging crosses.
I'm not saying he's going to play the centre mid.
Yeah, but he's creating the overlap for them Wirtz to then to go into that number 10 spot. Because Soboslai, if he is playing, will it basically be a 4-2-4. So Soboslai will practically be pushed right up alongside the striker. Yeah, Wirtz will then drift in, and then you got Kirkes on an overlap. Remember, it's all about trying to create overloads all over the pitch. Frimpong and Kirkes, I can see it already. Because if you're telling him to come inside, for me, you're congesting the pitch with the type of plays that we have, because Wirtz like to go inside as well. So
no, it's not. They're going to stand in the middle of the pitch. It's the type of runs that they're going to make. So the way our wingers have played this year has been designed so the wingers get space. So the fullbacks will make these runs narrow. They start narrower, they sit quite narrow in build up, and then they basically run straight forward. So the wingers out on the touchline, they'll run in a straightforward line past the winger. Until they're past the winger, they won't move out wide. Once they're past the winger can play a 1-2. And because he's made that inside run, he's dragged someone from the middle out, and the space is there in the middle. Whereas if we've got Kirkes doing these outside runs, if you've got Kirkes doing outside runs, Gakpo, everything Gakpo's done this season, and his strong point is negated. Because he can't start out wide to get the header steam that he needs to cut inside and whip the crossing or have the shot.
But remember, Kirkes is also there for decoys. I'm not saying we're going to play this like every single game. I'm just saying I can see this tactic being used quite a lot. We always had issues with Salah, like maybe being out wide too much. And not only that, Salah gets doubled up on because Trent never liked to overlap. Trent never wanted to go beyond Salah.
But how did we beat that to end the season? How did we beat that to end the season? Even though he was a bit shit to end the season because no one really cared, the way we were beaten at the end of the season was Conor Bradley. Whenever it wasn't even just the end of the season, whenever Conor Bradley's played this season, Conor Bradley is very, very rarely made. So I call it a classic Trent run. Trent always used to stay dead wide, run all the way down the line, and then put in this deep cross from near the corner flag, curled back in on itself. Bradley he'd run within the penalty area. You know the stuff you tell the strikers do? See the 2 lines of the penalty box, stick within that 18. Conor Bradley's runs would see him end up there. Go back to the Madrid game. In that second half, the first good chance we had, it was a Conor Bradley header from a run he's made, where he starts off wide and just ran dead diagonally towards the box. Against Tottenham, the same thing for his assist. Salah drifts wide, he drags the full-back with him, it creates the space, and our wing-back in Conor Bradley makes the inside run, which no one knows how to pick up, because a midfielder's going, I can't commit to a full-back. The defender's going, I've got a striker here. Do I commit to the full-back? Maybe he'll take him. The fact that the wing-back is making that run causes more problems. And to me, the fact that you're getting 2 of the strongest runners in that position, because that's what they are, the athletes. We're getting 2 major athletes. That, to me, suggests that we're going to be trying to make that run constantly to cause the problems and create the space for the wingers.
But Conor Bradley is different from Frimpong. So what you're saying is, I think, is right, spot on regarding Conor Bradley. But what I'm talking about is when you got Frimpong playing, Frimpong, in my opinion, is going to play differently to Conor Bradley. Not saying he won't drift in. There's going to be times to drift in. But I'm saying more times than not, you're going to see him run beyond Salah for that overlap And now teams will have to make a decision. Is Salah going to pass it to Frimpong because you got to get ready, or is Salah going to cut inside? That's what I'm saying. It's going to be very different to how it was last season.
But
Because
guys,
what I'm
you could
saying
just
is-
both be right. You could be like we just mix it up depending on who the opposition
No, we
is.
will
what
mix it
part
up.
of
But
the
I'm
game
just
it
saying
is.
the profile of players are very different. Like Frimpong.
Oh yeah. But the
Is a
instructions will probably be what you're both saying. I think there'll be times in
I-
games where we
I-
do the
I think
overlap.
either
There'll be times where we do the underlap. It would just depend on the opposition,
Mhm.
who's got the ball.
No, but as I
what
say, it
phases.
depends on
You
the
get what I'm
player. But what
saying?
I'm saying is, I'm just saying, just a blueprint. If Kirkers and Frimpong are both starting, in my opinion, I think you're going to see more overlapping than underlapping runs. But I think if it's Robbo or Bradley, they will mix it up.
I think
Bradley
Robbo.
doesn't
I think Robbo's only got an overlap in his locker. I don't.
No,
If you put
Robbo was
Robertson in,
Robbo was underlapping all the time. That was one of the
Yeah.
frustrations we had.
yeah, he
Yeah, because remember, Gakpo
yeah,
used to just
so
wait and
he
then
underlaps. So there's a difference. I can underlap. If Arnie told me what an underlap was and put me on the pitch, I could do it. Would I be very good at it? No. That's Robertson. Robertson has the understanding to know what he's supposed to do.
Yeah,
He knows what he's supposed to do, but he can't do it. Robertson still works best when he's allowed to run down the line like a little Rottweiler. Run up and down line, make some tackles, get back. That's his strength. The whole drift, make these inside runs so we can have a little bit of tight control around the penalty area and nice little flicks. Robertson panics at that point. Robertson wants to run down the line, put in a cross. That's his game. Kirkes, especially when you look at some of his games towards the back end of the season, when Bournemouth had some players missing with injury,
yeah.
he was often drifting in towards that left, it's more so the right-hand side of the opposition penalty box. He could put in a deep cross, but he wanted to get within the confines of the penalty area more often than not. So he could fire a ball across and he could operate in that area. Look at his goal against Newcastle. He takes that shot from pretty much the corner of the penalty box
Look
because
at
he's
some of
made
the
that
assists
inside
that
run.
he's put in the back. I'm telling you what. No, what you're saying isn't even wrong. I'm just saying, for me personally, I'm just gonna assume if I see Kirkes and Frimpong, not saying that they won't come inside, pause, like how what you're saying. I'm just saying
that's
I'm
a pause,
expecting-
Cal. Not what I said earlier. That's a pause.
So I should have said drift inside, didn't it? That was a bit mad still. Listen, it's
That-
Friday and Friday, man.
You
It's
can't
Friday and
say
Friday.
drift inside after you said that. That's making it worse now.
What do you
'Cause we
mean?
were-
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You can't say you can't say come inside and then
I didn't
afterwards,
say
if you
I
on
didn't
the
say
screen
someone's
drift
name.
inside,
I
that
said
is a
drift.
crazy-
Yeah, but we're working
Inside.
with drift now, and you just said come inside. so
You
it
lot,
sounds
man,
like
grow
bad
up, man,
quality.
flipping. Now
Look,
I said pause,
Matt,
and I said
we're
it.
calling the time. We're calling the time.
Yeah,
out.
now
We're
it's
gonna need a
time
minute
out.
to the group. We're gonna need a minute to the
now
group.
it's
Yeah,
like the
get your
group.
composure back. Get
We
yourself
can't have
settled
proper
again.
football. I said pause as I said it. You know, it's not like I didn't
Okay,
know
as-
the pause.
As
But what I'm saying
Kirkes
is, what I'm
and
saying is-
Frimpong-
Let me
as
land my point. Let me
Kirkes
quickly
and
land the point.
Frimpong
Let me land the
arrive
point.
inside. Go ahead.
Let me quickly land the point though. All I'm saying is, what you'll see, you'll get the best out of Frimpong and Kirkes when they overlap. And I'm telling you, the tens or the wide players will drift in field, innit? They will, and that's what will cause problems because there were too many times last season Trent was just get halfway to that inside right channel. And don't get me wrong, if the pass was perfect, we're more time scoring.
Yeah,
But
but
if the
that's
pass
that's
was-
because he's a lazy cunt who had.
Yeah, because
who's
he
more
was
concerned about
spamming. What I'm
Duolingo
saying is,
speech. Sorry,
think
I've
of
got
the
you
pro-
there.
Demonetization. They feed their families using this channel, you bum.
Sorry, I can't help it. You just angers me too much.
Yeah,
All right,
say
do you know what? Moving away
WAT.
from this subject
Don't
because we
say
could.
that.
Yeah,
argue
yeah,
about
let's
it
move on.
forever.
Let's roll. Let's roll.
Cow and
Can
Hassam, I want to ask you lot
Can
something.
I just say one thing on this topic because I haven't spoken yet? Sorry, I'm just reading the news.
Yeah, I
Here's
was
the-
going to come to you, but go on.
Here's the thing. Soboslai, I think, is going to be the victim of what we're going to do. I'm sorry. I like Soboslai. I have nothing against him. I just think he's the first person I'm going to look at to go to the bench. Now, it's very easy for all of us to come here and go like, we have a lot of games. We're going to rotate, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I understand that. We are going to rotate and every team needs a different this and every team needs a different that. If we're playing away at the Etihad, do we drop the striker and play with Soboslai and Wirtz together? Yes, we might. But I'm talking about the first 3 games of the season. In August, the first 3 games of the season, it shows you what Slot thinks his strongest 11 is. Simple as. Now, I think this is what he's going to start with the first game of the season. First game of the season at Anfield against whoever, Leeds, okay? Our starting 11 is going to be Alisson, Kirkes, Frimpong, Konate, Van Dijk, if Konate stays, Gravenberch, McAllister, Wirtz, Salah, Gakpo, and a striker. That's going to be the starting 11. Now, I'm not saying Szoboszlai can't play in the team. Of course he can, because we have 8 Champions League group stage games minimum. We've got Carabao Cup games. We've got FA Cup games. We've got Premier League games sandwiched between Champions League games. Of course, rotation matters. Slot has shown the willingness to rotate. Slot has shown the willingness to change things up. My only thing is, look, I still believe you need a strong starting 11 and build upon that. Like, with all due respect, we all know McAllister is not getting dropped because he's our best midfielder. Gravenberg is like the slot discovery, if you would like. So he is not.
He's suspended for the first game, innit? Yeah, for the first game.
Like the strongest 11 in Slot's eyes here. That's what you're saying.
No, but you said first game of the season, so technically you're wrong, Hassam.
You're obviously going to play Wirtz. You're obviously going to play Wirtz in the 10. I think everyone who says stuff about replicating, what PSG do, need to put the fries in the bag. Because we don't have Desired Away, we don't have Kvaratskhelia, we don't have Barcola.
Right,
we can't replicate it with Lucho and Cody. We can't replicate that shit. So let's just do our own style. Let's do our own way of something completely different, which is why this comes back to all the way back to Drifty's first question, which is, this is why we need a striker. Because we cannot do what PSG do. We can't stick Salah up top and put right wing Diaz, left wing Gakpo. It will not work because both of them are not technical enough to do what those other guys do. Now, if you sell both of them and you go sign Due and Kvaratskhelia, yeah, we can do it. I'm not saying we should. I'm saying if you want to replicate PSG. I don't want us to replicate PSG. I want us to do it our own way. Because we have shown, by the way, this PSG thing, just quickly. You guys do realize we actually lost to PSG on penalties. We literally lost to PSG on penalties. They sent Inter Milan to the worst pages in football history. They beat Arsenal by 3 goals. They beat Aston Villa by 2 goals. They only beat us on penalties. And in the first 5-6 minutes, had Donnarumma and Nuno Mendes not been on madness, maybe we would have won that game. So we have shown the capability of beating them. That's why I believe we should do it in our own way. I don't want us to replicate anyone. We already won the league. It's just these slight tweaks.
Yeah,
get the striker.
I didn't even
get
know
the striker that Slot is describing. And if you can't get the striker, let's say you guys are both right? All of you guys are right. Isak is like top target, blah, blah, blah. I don't mind getting like Duran, stopgap for a year on loan till you can get Isak next summer. My problem would be don't get anyone and just go like Diaz and Jota run it back. Oh, we've got Rio Gomoha as Gakpo backup. That won't work. That's all I'm saying.
So on that, Sam, shall I tell you why I half agree and half disagree? You see, when you say Sobo would be the first victim, I actually think it depends on the opposition. And this is why I'm such a fan of having a big squad and why I've been saying it for years. And I get at people when they're like, oh, no, we don't need, if we've got that player, why do we need that player? The more players you have in the squad, the more freedom you have tactically. If we're playing City at the Etihad, for example, there's every chance that Wirtz could play from the left and Sobo could play in the 10 to give us a bit more durability and a bit more legs in the midfield. However, if we're at home to say, let's say it's Leeds at home and it's a game we're expected to win, then you can go Florian in the 10, Gakpo on the left, and then you could even go Grav and Mac rather than Grav and Mac, or grab one of them two with a more defensive-minded midfielder. I think by having more players in the squad and having better players in the squad, it gives you that tactical flexibility. Another thing, with some of the players that we've got now, we could actually implement a diamond formation in certain games. Like, we are so, or should I say, we have been rigid over the last few years in terms of we know what the formation is going to be, we know how we're going to play. Going forward, we could be in a position where we could go 3 at the back, we could go 4-2-3-1, we could go 4-4-2 diamond. We have got so many weapons now from a tactical standpoint. And you look at what Slot did this season with very little tactical flexibility. I think it's a very good situation to be in. And I don't necessarily know if there'll be any victims as such, but yeah, I don't think Szoboszlai will get as many
I'm with
minutes.
you, but you know you just want to sit on the fence. You know this.
I'm not sitting on the fence, though. I just
You
said
are. You
how am I
are.
sitting on the fence? So you.
Okay, I'm going to call you out.
So
Very
it's,
simple.
so Wirtz is playing every single game.
Champions League final. Name your starting 11. Go ahead.
My starting 11, if everyone's
Yeah,
fit,
regardless of opposition. Champions League final. Who's your starting 11?
his starting 11 would be either Frimpong or Bradley right back, centre backs Konate and Virgil, left
We're
back.
not playing with a goalie.
Oh yeah, obviously we know who that is.
Tom, don't interrupt him to say stupid shit. Go ahead, Callum.
By the way, as well, I disagree. I don't think Kirkes will start first game of the season. I still think that'll be Robert. I don't agree with it, but I think it'll be wrong.
Oh, God help my soul, man.
Alright.
Anyway,
Remember I said this.
okay, carry on. Midfield.
Your hatred for Robertson's shocking, by the
Don't
way.
say,
Hassan.
from now on, from this moment onwards, you can't say either or. I let you say Bradley or Frimpong either or, no problem.
As
From
of
this
right
moment
now,
on,
yeah,
no
grab
more either
a
or.
Mac, and then Wirtz, and then as of right now with the players that we have, Diaz through the middle, Salah, and then Gakpo on the left.
Okay, so Szoboszlai is gonna be the one that holds the bench in that scenario.
Yeah, but other players hold bench as well, bro. What we do?
Love.
No, but you said it's gonna be Szoboszlai, gonna be a victim all season, and he's gonna.
I'm not saying he's gonna be a victim all season. All I'm simply saying is, guys, there is a set starting 11. We all watch football here. We know what you guys are saying. You and Tom are not wrong. Callum and Tom are saying something that is true. I'm just saying
I've not said anything yet.
we're gonna do this based on the opposition. I get it, but 99% of the time, the strongest teams have a set starting 11 and they just run the set starting 11.
We say that though, Hassan. We say that though, but there's,
there's
that stat.
Doué started. Sorry, Tom. Doué started ahead of Barcola in the Champions League final. Up until a couple months before that, or even a month before that, Doué was the bench player.
Yeah, but that's because Doué came into form the last 2 months.
Precisely. Sobo could be in form and Gakpo could be out of form. And we go,
I understand what you're saying. I'm simply saying there is a set starting 11 of which Szoboszlai is not part of it at this
moment. It isn't though, because
I agree with Carl.
What's that stat?
Right this second.
What's that stat from the? That's it. 2019 Champions League final against Tottenham. That team we put out Alisson, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Henderson, Salah, Mane, Firmino. What was pretty much unanimously the best start 11
that's our best team, and they were never fit. That's a different conversation.
They only ever played together once.
Yeah, but because they were never fit, so that's a different conversation.
But they were fit at the start of the season. Everyone was fit, but at the start of the season, the manager wanted Joe Gomez, and then at points he wanted to start Milner, because when you're playing close to 60 games a season, which if we want to go far in competitions, we're going to. You're not going to be able to play your first choice starting 11 for a lot of them games. To play your first choice starting 11 is a luxury. It's a luxury to have everyone fit and everyone ready and the perfect situation. So we need a big squad. I think this season has kind of skewed people's minds. Oh, we didn't use that many players, so we don't need that many players. No, we do. Just because we didn't use that many, look at how gassed out some of our players. We couldn't play McAllister to end the season because he was that gassed. We had to give him fucking annual leave.
There's two different points, though. What Hassan's basically saying is...
Yeah, you're responding.
He's basically saying our best 11 is this. But what we're saying is, while we disagree with him, but it's a different conversation, is that we don't know necessarily our best 11 depending on how the season's going to go. But what he's saying is right this second, right now, who do you think is the... on paper, who would you put as your first choice? So everyone's all available. Everyone's on form. Everyone's, you know what I'm saying? Like, who would be your first choice for the front four places?
Salah, Szoboszlai, Wirtz, Gakpo.
So Wirtz is on the left for you.
He's doing the Wirtz.
I'm doing the double 10. I think that's the best way to play a big game for Liverpool.
So if we sign a striker now, what?
If you sign a striker, then it's most likely going to be...
Let's say your dream happens. Nunes joins Atletico, we sign Alvarez. Who goes to the bench?
Robert. And we're talking Champions League final. Probably
Tom,
Gakpo.
Can you just answer the...
Probably Gakpo.
Gakpo goes to the bench. So you're just going to be wrong and strong? No problem.
No. Because if you're... I agree. The one point I don't disagree with Matt on is this team is not ready to lose Szoboszlai in big games. We cannot go into a big game without the work rate that he puts in.
Okay, you are missing
I need to put him in. If anything, he's the second most important player in a big game.
Different points being spoken, though.
When we used to play club ball at its most effective rate, Jose Mourinho came out publicly and said, on the counter-attack, Jurgen Klopp leaves Mane and Mo at halfway line so they can counter-attack.
Jurgen Klopp's not our manager.
Can I speak?
Go on. I don't know what point we're getting to because he's not our manager.
We needed Henderson and Wijnaldum to do the work rate thing, the whole the workhorse thing, so that they can stop the counter-attacks from happening down those sides.
Yeah.
At this moment in time, Tom, with Trent gone, I do not have an extra luxury player. Callum explained this to you last time, but you completely missed his point. The luxury players in our team was Trent and Mo. Now it is just Mo. There is no more luxury players other than him. Frimpong is a flying fullback that will be up and down that side. So all Frimpong needs is just a bit of help from Gravenberch or a bit of help from McAllister, and we're good to go. We don't need Szoboszlai doing the right midfielder doing
Same
this,
as
just
Bradley.
bombing up.
Same
and
as
down.
Bradley as well. Same as Bradley.
Yeah, same with Bradley. So
it's
it's like a modern fullback that's up and down the pitch who will be there defending and all that type of stuff. So we don't need that. Ali, you just said Wirtz is a luxury.
He's
Time
not a
yourself.
luxury. Wirtz, I know you're going to say that, Tom. Wirtz isn't a luxury.
I
Yeah,
wasn't.
Wirtz
I wasn't going to say that.
Okay,
I wasn't going to say
Ali-
that.
Ali-
He's not a luxury
Ali-
player. No, he
Ali-
puts in a
No,
shift. He does put-
Wirtz works hard. That's why I've been
Yeah,
willing
exactly.
to
So
put
he's not
Wirtz
a
out on
luxury
the
player.
left.
So we have one luxury player now.
Yeah.
So I don't need to.
In your argument,
One
Hassam, yes, we have one
player.
luxury player, but I'm also working on logic. But Jeremy Frimpong is not Usain fucking Bolt. If he bombs up the pitch and we lose the ball, he's not going to bomb back down the pitch.
I'm not asking him to. I'm saying a bit of help from Gravenberch or McAllister only, and we're good.
No, because then if I've got Gravenberch drifting out there and McAllister drifting out there, I've got a fucking massive chasm in my middle. Liverpool want to defend in a 4-4-2. That's how we defend. We defend with the back four.
That's how we defended this season. Thank you. Cameron.
Okay, so I can only go off what I've seen this season. I don't know what tactical evolution we're
But
going
it's
to
a
make.
different team because Trent's gone.
Trent wasn't that important. We did not build our system around Trent this season.
No,
he
what
was
you're
fucking.
saying, Tom,
He was a negated point.
No, Tom, what you're saying is spot on. We defended in a 4-4-2 last season or 4-1-4-1. You're absolutely spot on there. Or even 4-2-4 sometimes. What I think Hassam and what I'm trying to say is, I don't think we'll defend like that this season because our two fullbacks that we're looking to buy are marauding fullbacks. Therefore, I think we'll go back to similar way of defending under Klopp, whereby Fabinho used to drop in and Matip and Virgil would go a little bit wider.
But that's not how we defended, though. That's how we built up. I agree with that and build up. When we have the ball, Gravenberch will get dead close to the centre backs. We'll form an auxiliary back three. But when we are defending, in our defensive shape, we are going to have Frimpong and Kerkers back. We're going to form the back four again. And in my eyes, it's going to be a bit of a weird lopsided one where we leave Salah high and wide as effectively a wide target man. We're going to have him matched up against a fullback. And if we can't build up properly, we give it to Virgil and go, bang, get it up to Salah. He'll hold it up. We can get up. But to leave Salah up there and to not cause problems for Frimpong, where he's going to have people bombing on at him, Szoboszlai needs to track all the way back and become an auxiliary right winger. In when we're defending, you leave Salah up there,
on
the striker there.
Are luxury. How do you miss this point?
Or guys, are we missing?
Oh my God! Why are you so obsessed on this luxury point? You need players who track back anyway, even if you have just one luxury player.
I understand what you're saying. I'm simply saying now I have got a modern full. Here's
2 more minutes and then we change the subject.
Hold on.
Here's what Trent gave Liverpool last season. Here's what Trent gave Liverpool last season. Trent would get the ball when we were building up from the back, either play diagonal balls or play a ball in behind, or underlap with Mo. Okay? Frimpong does not have that capability, neither does Bradley. They are modern fullbacks, which means that they are going to overlap with Mo and run behind to go back and defend, which now means that little gap that you're talking about down the right-hand side will be covered by either Gravenberch or McAllister. Then the gap that's in the middle that you're talking about that will happen because of that gap, you've got Florian Wirtz in there. And then by that time, the players are running back anyway, and we're back in shape. I'm saying at this moment in time, with the team that we have, we do not need Szoboszlai to do the RCM thing and track back. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Let Tom land.
I've offered the tactical board so I can just showcase what I'm saying.
Yeah, bring it on the screen.
So, in this situation, Liverpool will be attacking. You'll have your wingers there. You'll have your striker ideally in the box. Your 10 sitting there. He'll be there. Your wing backs will be either there or there. Same with this one. I'll just put them there for now. And then Gravenberch, Van Dijk, Konate. Now, Liverpool, this is with Wirtz in the 10 and a striker. We've got fullback. He makes the run. Oh, for fuck's sake. He makes the run. Salah puts the cross in, headed away. All of a sudden, this massive fucking gap is here. And him, who's just made a massive lung-busting run from back here to get to there. I cannot expect him to do this for 90 minutes straight. So what I would then ask is, in this situation where Szoboszlai is playing, Dominic Szoboszlai, who was sitting there, goes there, and we quickly retreat into more of your 4-4-2, where you get to leave Salah high and wide. Frimpong has the cover because Szoboszlai is there to get back. Kerkez and Wirtz have worked hard to get back, and Liverpool effectively defend like this. You're in your 4-4-2. Every gap is covered, but you cannot do that if you're not playing Dominic Szoboszlai, because none of our other players can get from there to there quick enough to cover that gap. And if we do not cover that gap quick enough, we'll be in the exact same situation we were for the last 3 years under Jurgen Klopp, where Trent had zero defensive responsibility at times, and teams would spend 60% of the time attacking our right-hand side. You know them graphs where they show attacking which side you've attacked down?
If I had the Virgin board out as well, I could show you what I mean, but it is what it is.
Okay, go on. No, explain it. Explain it, Sam. I'll do it for you. We can do it right now.
Can I just ask a question to both of you really quickly? Are we missing the elephant in the room? What happens if we just sign a defensive-minded midfielder to play next to Gravel or Mac?
I don't think much changes.
Isn't that the solution?
I don't think much changes in that situation, because I don't think you're going to play McAllister, Gravenberch, and the defensive-minded midfielder.
Oh, you don't. But I say you can rotate between the three of them. Again, yes, horses.
Cal, I agree. That's exactly why I want us to buy Wharton, but I don't see how that changes this.
So let me just ask
they'd just be coming in to replace one of these two.
We are kind of not beating a dead horse, but the fact that nobody actually knows this is.
Yeah, I'm sharing screen now. Can I just explain what I say, please?
Is the point everybody here is trying to get at that we've just signed the best number 10 in the world, but Szoboszlai still plays so we can defend? Is that the point we're making?
Thank you so much. That's
if I'm being honest with you, that's a crock of shit.
I'm so Drifty, you are iconic. That's why Drifty is an icon, because what he just said. Guys, forget all the shit that Tom just said. Let me tell you real football.
Okay. Nah, you can't say that. I think Tom, you can't do that, bro.
I'm not even saying that Tom's point is wrong, but I'm saying if we're going to worry about that, to the point where we don't play a 10, where we
Sam, you can warm me as much as you like, bro.
So you're playing against Leeds in a low block, or whoever the fuck in a low block. As we have already pointed out before, there's about 27 teams that will be defensive against us in 27 different scenarios next season. Now, you are attacking in my style, which is Gravenberch, McAllister, and Florian Wirtz ahead of them, with an actual line, with a winger, blah, blah, blah. As Mr. Thomas Little says, Frimpong is high up here. We are currently building up an incredible attack. These guys are over here. These guys are over here. No problem. So now we're getting counterattack. What happens when we get counterattack? Frimpong will run back, and then I've got one of the DMs, which is the point of playing a double pivot, helping out over here. By the time that Leeds or Burnley or whichever football club wants to attack us in any side, I am back in shape normally, and now I can just defend, and I can steal the ball back. I can steal the ball back from them and initiate another attack by the time that they even get anything down that side. The problem is, you are saying something, Drifty just rebutted it in one sentence. You're saying that I've signed, according to you, the best 10 in the world, so I can still play this guy right here just so he could do this. That's it. So he could do this. When I do not need that anymore, because guess what? Now my fullback does this, and I've got a right-sided defensive midfielder who, when I am getting counterattacked, will be doing this. Also, there's another thing that you did not mention, Mr. Tactical, that you need to keep in mind, which is when we are defending, my brother, there's another possibility, because you are a fraud, you don't know this. The third possibility is now Gravenberch dropping in between the two centre backs.
Gravenberch is not going to sit it. We're not going to defend with a back five. If he wanted to defend with a back five, we would have got a different manager.
Don't shout.
Oh my fucking God.
Don't shout and listen. Whenever you shout,
Arnie Sloss has never played a back five in his career.
Whenever
and
you
yet you
shout,
think he's going to defend in a back five.
You shout, I know I'm right. Stop shouting.
You're not right, John. You want
when we are attacking,
defending a completely different system.
When we are attacking, can I speak? Can I speak? When we are attacking, Gravenberch plays no role in our attacks, because Gravenberch does not offer me anything going forward. Gravenberch can then proceed to drop between the two center backs, as he's done, by the way, this season, which allows me to have a back three in defense. That's another possibility right there. And in the words of
You're not
Drifty, I
going
did
to
not sign the
defend with the
best
back
10 in the
three.
world, so I can play a number 10 to track back for the RCM.
I'm not going to
All right,
defend
let's
in a
move
back
on,
three.
guys.
Oh
Let's
my
move-
god!
I'm gonna read out the super chat. Make sure you smash that like button, guys. Big up yourself. I think everyone's also missing another massive possibility. Even though I don't want to keep going over
sorry,
this.
Drift.
If
Sorry,
we,
I've
if
got
we
one more
sign a
thing to say.
striker and we've got Wirtz, maybe Salah is told to defend. We played that way this season because he was our best attacking outlet. We got Isak and Wirtz. Maybe Salah has to defend, and he don't have that luxury anymore of just being able to stay up front the
I
whole
doubt
time.
that, Drift. I
Who
doubt
kno-
if
no,
Salah
but
is
I'm just saying,
older.
who knows? Like we have
He may
absolutely
be Drift,
no
but he's
idea.
going to be 33. He's not. You don't want to like give him too
We have
much
no,
to do.
but we have no idea. Anyway, let me read out these super chats and let's move on because we are doing a lot of if buts and maybes at the moment. Big up Eddie, who says another injury brain striker. I think he's talking about Isak on that one.
Injury prone, I think he
and
means.
then also goes on to say another injury prone striker. Brilliant. I think again he's talking about Isak on that one. Trusting Cal says beans on toast.
Thank you.
Mr. Whoops, he says Diaz and Salah wingers. Then Wirtz false 9 is filth. So he's.
Oh, but when I
Tom
say
on
that, I'm the criminal. Right, good to know. Good to know. I said that a month ago and I was the criminal.
Yeah, but if you stopped shouting, I just told them it's not filth.
Fonzie says, I hope Tom Tobias is part of the Wirtz in add-ons with a smiley face.
I would take that all day. Leverkusen fan
That's
TV.
crazy.
Little rude, but okay. Nicholas, I'll be real. Isak or Alvarez, no one else. I agree with that one completely. Shawnee says, different regime drift, forget past mistakes. I'm trying to remember, I think, what were we talking about at that time? I think it was lack of defensive cover.
So no, we were talking about the attacking situation where I said if we buy Isak and we sell Diaz and Nunes, we're not going to leave ourselves short on the attack. And you said they've done it before.
Yeah. And I said we've done it in defense. So yeah. Alex, you think we'll go diamond again? We kind of did just cover this. Grav in the 6, Mac and Sobo in the 8, and then Wirtz in the 10.
It's a possibility.
Isak wide,
It's a very good
striker and
possibility, yeah.
fullbacks with width. Grav drops into the back 3 and out of possession. We did kind of cover that. Alex, big up yourself. Yeah, I think it's a possibility. Cal was right. We could possibly play a diamond. But we've already seen that Slot has about 8 different formations in his bag, depending on man sent off, what we're doing, are we losing, are we winning? We've got a tactical genius in charge. So we'll probably play every type of formation everybody's argued might happen. This is just how it is now, isn't it? Dan, would you have Mateta as a stopgap? Yes, I would. Big up, Dan. Sobo false 9 has every attribute. Think about it. I said this and did get attacked a little bit when I said, do you think we would play Soboslai there?
It's not the craziest idea.
Soboslai false 9, so when he's one-on-one on goal, he finds someone to pass to instead of shooting.
Can I say something on that? Everyone knows I'm a massive.
The only man who could get criticised for giving other players open goals is Dominic Soboslai, by the way.
No.
Moaning at him for playing a simple pass.
Yes, can I just land on this? Everyone knows I'm a massive Soboslai fan, so this won't come across as hate. Just because he runs hard and presses well doesn't make him a false 9. To be a false 9, you have to have an immaculate first touch. Soboslai doesn't have that. You got to have a great way to pass. Soboslai doesn't have that. And you got to be pretty good in front of goal. With all due respect, Soboslai doesn't have that. So again, take away his pressing and his hard work. What contributes to Soboslai playing as false 9? And I'm saying this as a Soboslai fan. Do you remember what Firmino was, guys? Flicks and tricks, creativity, hard work, immaculate first touch, great way to pass, space invader, also knew when to take the space away. Like he's
even though what you're saying is absolutely right, Cal, in terms of like playing that perfect false 9. Where I think Soboslai could be utilized in false line randomly now and again is you use that pace, that power, that running, all the things he does to distract the opposition, to then allow Gakpo, Wirtz and Salah to capitalize when he is running people down, putting them under pressure, causing issues in that way. You don't play him there because you think he's going to be effective in what he's doing.
You're only going to be a distraction if people worry about you.
Effective off the ball.
But what's
Soboslai is not a scary footballer, though, Drew.
No. We're talking about random games. We're not talking about that's the philosophy. He's there every single time.
When Liverpool,
random games.
I'm going to say, this kind of goes all the way back round to the first point. We were talking about Florian Wirtz. He's a number 10, but there's times he could play out wide because I do think he's got the profile to just kind of drift in, be an attacking mid, playing on the left, right? But Szoboszlai playing in a false 9, bro. I cannot lie to you. It will be a disaster because we've gone from Firmino, who was arguably the best false 9 in his time, the only person that I could even compare to probably like a Benzema or something like that, right? Now, then we've obviously gone to Nunes, different profile of striker that hasn't worked. And now we're going to go back to a false 9 again with a player who's never even played there in his life, can't play the number 10 how we would like him to play. And now you're asking him to play the false 9 because he's a road runner. That ain't gonna work, bro.
No, but we're not talking about every week. We're talking about a random game where
I'll be honest with you. I never.
You know what I mean? We're not talking. And again, like I said, everyone's thinking too idealistically. Yeah, he's no Benzema or no Firmino. Of course he isn't. But in a certain game, you may need him to do what will be distraction tactics in what he does off the ball to allow the space for your likes of Wirtz and Salah and Gakpo to use the space that will be created or the chaos that will be created to then do their thing.
That's never happened.
Loads of different options.
The only way you can play false 9, you have to have
the defense is not going to respect Szoboszlai enough to put 2 centre backs on him and ignore Mo or ignore Gakpo. I'm sorry.
No, he will be putting pressure on teams who are trying to play out from the back.
The problem that you haven't addressed, even what you said, is you're saying he will create the space for others. Okay, so what happens if he's the one that has the space?
Come on, man. Let's not act like Szoboszlai is some bum that can't do anything.
You're now exaggerating. You're now exaggerating. No one said
he can finish.
Oh, yeah. So why did you call him out?
You're forgetting.
Why did you call him out away at Aston Villa when he didn't shoot?
Hold on. Everyone, this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying now, wasn't I ridiculed and be like, well, he can't finish. That's why I passed to Nunes. But all of a sudden now he's a finisher.
Yeah, Drifty, you were the one that said that, by the way.
Because you know what? Szoboszlai
no. Hold on. We're not going to do this. We've always spoke about his mentality, his need to defer to Mo and shirk responsibility.
So
we've never said he's incapable. In fact, the reason we were annoyed is because he is capable and wasn't doing it. Let's not rewrite history.
So what's the difference next season then? What's going to make him suddenly capable?
Well, if I'm being totally honest with you, after watching the way he's played in the pivot and the 8 for Hungary and the way Slot played him in the Brighton game, I'm starting to think it was possibly he actually was just following instructions. Even though we're annoyed at him, he might have actually just been following instructions.
Drifty, me and you both know when you're one-on-one on goal, there is no instructions. Okay? When you are through, there is no one-on-one instructions.
Oh my God, I cannot believe people are still making Dominic Szoboszlai out to be the idiot in that situation. He has a defender on his arse, Emi Martinez closing him down, and he plays a simple pass across the face of goal to his number 9, and he is being made out to be the villain because Darwin Núñez kicks it over the fucking bar. How?
What are you shouting?
No, it isn't. It isn't just
you're
that.
You're speaking to someone who hates Darwin Núñez.
No, but that was the game that ticked a lot of people off, and I'm with Tom here.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back. He did it all season. Like, how many times have we heard Matt this season say, why is he deferring to Mo?
Every other time he done it in the season. Every other time he done it in the season, it was to an attacker who wasn't a fucking idiot. That's why they went in.
Anyway, we've got back on this subject again. Let's move on. Tony says, if we sold Diaz, how about Pixel from Feyenoord? He got 30 GA as a left winger this season.
He does not move.
I don't know enough about him.
But
I don't know enough about him.
He's just all right.
Can I just ask again another question? Has any team played with a natural 10 and a false 9 at the same time?
I mean,
I don't know. I've never thought about it.
Did we? I reckon Barca might have done it like once.
We probably did when we had Coutinho and Bobby, but it wasn't often. But that's probably
Coutinho kind of played left centre midfield /10. Like it wasn't. You weren't actually.
There were times when he played 10. It depends what you look at it.
Coutinho never, as far as I remember, Coutinho never really played just.
And Coutinho also played left wing sometimes as well. So,
no, he did, but there were sometimes he played 10. He played left wing more than he played 10, but there were sometimes.
Is it out of the question, in your guys' opinion, that Florian Wirtz could be seen out wide?
No,
and Szoboszlai still being the number 10.
No. I don't think he turns down Bayern Munich, wants the Liverpool move, and is a natural 10, and we pay 100+ mil to then play left wing. I don't think that.
I don't think he'll play there all the time, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 60.
Don't be surprised when you see
the random games.
No,
maybe.
I don't think it'll be random. I don't think it'll be random.
I think it'd be your big games. I think it'd be your away games against your big opposition where you'd see him play Szoboszlai and Wirtz together, so we can have that. Wirtz off the left, Szoboszlai on the 10, so we can have that defensive cover, and it'd be Gakpo's the one that's sacrificed against the low end opposition. That's probably where Szoboszlai misses out, because you don't necessarily, against a team that's going to sit so deep, need what Szoboszlai gives you, because they're not going to get out quick enough. But against the top end opposition, who are, going to sit a bit higher, going to be able to counter-attack you more clinically, going to be able to impose themselves a little bit more on you, we need what Szoboszlai gives. We still haven't evolved past needing Szoboszlai in big games. Any big game where Szoboszlai doesn't play, Liverpool will look worse, and that's a fact.
So can I
don't know, Tom. We've got a genius in the team now. I don't know.
What was our worst game against the Big Six this season?
Probably Man United at home.
Arsenal away wasn't too bad, but I don't.
No, Arsenal away we couldn't play out from the back.
I don't think this season can be a metric for next season.
Cal, your point. United at home. That's probably the worst performance against the Big Six team this season in my eyes.
That's because we had a player in the team who couldn't be arsed, bro. Like he was a prick that day. Like
he's a rat. He's a knobhead. This, that, and the other. I agree. Dominic Szoboszlai didn't play that game, and we looked
because Szoboszlai played. Trent would have cared more. You are
no. I'm not. That's obviously not the be all end all. But I'm saying that game, we got battered in a midfield battle against Ugarte and Mainu.
All right, but Tom, to switch.
Hold on, Sam, literally no reason. After 52 minutes, you just said the same shit me and Callum said from the beginning, which is we are gonna have a set fucking starting 11, and in the big games, if you wanna play Szoboszlai and fucking Wirtz false line together, we agreed from the beginning. So when I'm playing, because that's why I brought up from the start, Leeds at home, but you don't listen because you do. Oh my god!
Why are you shouting?
You're shouting at them.
Exaggeratory fucking bullshit. Be quiet. Listen.
Why are you leaning back?
Your problem is you never listen. From the start, my example was fucking Leeds at home. You don't listen. Szoboszlai does not help me beat fucking Leeds at home, and that's the thing that I said from the first sentence.
You can't just
argue for 50 minutes.
This all started.
Hold on, Tom.
No, Cal. Let me just. You can go just to respond to his point.
Guys. One at a time, guys.
Really quickly, Tom.
And I don't know why we're back on this formation.
Our best game, though.
Throwing Wirtz and we're going imagine. We're actually beefing.
You could also argue, though, Tom. We played one of our best games like Szoboszlai when Jones played in the 10 against Leverkusen as well. So again, it's horses for courses. All I'm saying is, are we looking at the wrong position on the pitch or the wrong area if we're concerned about defensive stability in the team? And I hate to say this because they're two of my favorite players and they've been absolutely phenomenal this season. Do we need to look at a pivot and do we need to get someone a bit more athletic and defensive minded in there rather than expecting our number 10 to be the defensive midfielder?
Facts. 100%. If you buy Belieber or Wharton, you ain't got this worry about whether Szoboszlai is running around or not. You haven't.
I do though,
anyway,
because
let's move on.
I do though because Belieber or Wharton or fucking prime Claude Makelele time travelled and put in this Liverpool team isn't going to defend right midfield when we're in a settled defensive shape.
No, I will, because if you look at what Fabinho and Henderson used to do to cover Trent, it's pretty much the same thing.
He just said prime Claude Makelele, and then they wonder why I shout.
No, because you're ignoring the point I'm saying.
I know what Tom means. I know what you mean.
When I'm done, I'm taking a 30-second break before I lose my shit now. He just said prime Claude Makelele. They renamed the sixth position after Claude Makelele, and he just said prime Claude Makelele wouldn't help us to defend. This team, guys, cannot exist without Szoboszlai running down the right-hand side. Tom is right.
Thank you. In those big games, so again, on the small games point, completely agree. You can probably get away with not using Szoboszlai. But in the big games, against teams that are going to have extended periods of time with the ball against us, we're going to have to get into a settled defensive shape. Therefore, our settled defensive shape under Arne Slot has been, up to this point, and I can't go against it because there hasn't been anything to go against it with, a 4-4-2. So, if I'm committing Salah to be this forward and to stay up there and to match up with fullback, I need someone. So I've got my front two. I've got my striker and Salah. They're up there. I need someone to then cover right mid. Otherwise, what's going to end up happening is Jeremy Frimpong is going to have mismatches every single time a team is able to build up against us because he's going to have no winger helping him out. Therefore, Szoboszlai goes from the 10 to the right midfield spot and helps support Jeremy Frimpong, and we defend in a 4-4-2. That, to me, is why it doesn't matter which centre mid you've got, because I'm not asking Gravenberch to go out wide when we are in a settled defensive shape and protect Frimpong. I need Szoboszlai to do that because Gravenberch and McAllister need to sit in the middle to stop play coming through the middle. In transition, then there's more of an argument. But I'm on about the state of big games when we are against opposition who have the ball against us. We need Szoboszlai to play in those games because he's the only one in that midfield who has the energy and the pace to get back and cover right mid, which will allow you to unlock Mohamed Salah.
That's the last time we're talking about formations. I promise you. Otherwise, I'll dash everyone off the street. We are not talking about the formation anymore. Promo. And I know, at first I thought he was being serious here.
We'll talk about tactical fluidity then instead.
Guys, should we talk about team shape?
Let's
not talk about formations. Let's talk about team shape.
To nullify Trent. Promo's been on a mad one recently. I'm not even gonna lie. He's actually been moved. Man said
Promo's actually gone clear. Like he's the
got
most villain.
Promo is literally coming for H's title. I swear that. Fonzie says, tell James Lawrence, Tom Cott to go. Hold on, James Lawrence, Tom Cott to go back to bed. I think he reads. I don't even get that joke. If anyone else does, then big up.
Yeah, they a content creator that effectively just lives for like doing tactical breakdowns and stuff.
Oh, okay. I get it. Jack says, imagine after all this, we play 3-2-4-1. I don't even know what the hell that formation would even look like.
So that's just Pep Ball from when they won the treble that everyone tried to copy.
Okay.
It's the reverse 4-2-3-1, isn't it? Basically.
Fair enough. Chris says Hungarian Jordan Henderson can't play false 9. Big up. I'm not sure if you tried to say anything, but big up for the super chat, Mr. SL. Zoheb, this argument is why I think Liverpool don't sign a 9. Oh, interesting. Frankie, Szoboszlai has 1.35 tackles per 90 and 0.35 interceptions. If you look deeper into the stats, you'll see that nobody really cares. Arnold knows what to do. And Thompson says the rivals are quoting the full price of it because they know he's going to activate all of his bonuses at any time they say we paid 136 for him. They are admitting we are going to win a lot. Big facts on that one. I fully agree with that one. Right, I want to finish up, guys, with back to some fantasy transfer talk for the last 10 minutes to just have some fun because we just argued about something no one even has a fucking clue about. So I'm going to bring back just for a little bit of fun. Let's just talk. Now, I'm going to use Chelsea as an example, which is a very bad example because they're a terrible club in terms of how they're run. But work with me here. Now, I think a lot of people's trepidation about whether we're going to go ham in the transfer market after this is because it feels and seems unrealistic, right? You think to yourself, it's not just that I don't believe Liverpool will move this way. What club can do this and spend this and be crazy and do all this and yada, 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 right? But Chelsea in 2022-23 and 23-24 went crazy in the transfer market. In 23-24, they bought Moises Caicedo, Lavia, Nkunku, Palmer, and Disasi, and you can probably throw Jackson in if you want, even though he's obviously ended up being crap, all in one summer. Does that, guys, give you confidence that Liverpool can go and get a DM, can go and get Isak, can go and get a Barcola or what have you? And if you had your fantasy 11 and your fantasy transfers, but realistic though, fantasy but still realistic. No one say Killian or anything like that.
Are we allowing Callum to do this? Have we just forgotten the curse?
No, Callum would just say the shirt that they wear.
No,
for the
I'll say
team
the
they
name.
play for.
I'll say the name.
Let's not get too carried away. Let's not get.
Bro, man said, let's not get carried away. I'm still worried.
Is dead.
I'll start with you, Matt. So, Matt, are Chelsea a bad example, or do you think it is kind of like proof that you can go super ham in a window, and we can dream of a window where we do go and buy 5 or 6 top class players all at the same time? And then who would your realistic fantasy players be? Transfer window shut. This is who Liverpool have.
All right, let me answer the last question first. So, in terms of what we're doing now, all I would add to that is a striker. Obviously, we know who the striker is, Isak. I don't know whether it's realistic or not. It remains to be seen over the next couple of weeks. I'll go and get a centre back because I think we need another centre back because I'm not sure what's going on with Kwanzaa or Gomez.
I need names, bro. I need names.
Oh, you want names?
I need names, bro. I need names.
All right. So for centre back, see Slotterbeck mash up his knee in it.
I wonder who's to blame for that.
That was my old days.
I'll probably right now I'd swap either Gomez or Kwanzaa if I had to, because again I don't know what's going on with him. One of them might want first team football, especially Joe Gomez.
No, don't worry about outgoings. Don't worry about outgoings.
Oh, just bring the players in, yeah.
Just play. I just want the window shut. Who is the players that
I'll go and get Diamonde from Sporting. Okay. I think he's a good centre back, up and coming as well. 21 years of age, I think he is now. He's been there for like 2 years. I'll go and get Rodrigo for the left wing, and I'll go and get the striker Isak. And I think we'll midfield as well, innit? I'll probably go and get either Schumann or Baleba. I'm leaning towards maybe Schumann only because of the experience, but Baleba's profile and what we need might actually be better. But I still think Schumann would be a good fit in this Liverpool team. So at least you got more of a destroyer type. I know Kyle likes them players there, so at least we get one of them players in. And we could do like we can rotate like for which game, whether it's a big game, whether it's first game of the season, or whether it's a final, we have the ability to play which players are in form and which suit the team that we're up against. So I'll say it one last time. Diamonde for centre back, Rodrigo for left wing, Isak for striker, and Schumann for the CDM. That's what I would do.
Can I go?
Yeah,
next?
go on, Cal. You next.
Shoot off. I think we'll sign Schlotterbeck in January. So I don't think we'll sign a centre back. Maybe Diamonde if we do sign one. And then we'll get Schlotterbeck in January. And then Schumann and Isak. If Lucho goes.
No, don't worry about that. Just who you want.
He just said he didn't go. That's how I didn't do that.
I was going. Just who you want.
Okay, that's how bringing in players.
Diamonde, Schumann, Isak, and Barcola.
We're literally the same, other than the Barcola Rodrigo, innit?
Yeah, I don't think we get 2 players out of Real Madrid.
Tom?
Yeah, I hear that.
Forget outgoing. Who do you want?
Big up to everyone. Smash the like button.
Big up, G. Big up, bro.
Big up, bro.
Blessings.
Realistically, I'd want Loic Bade for centre back to be the backup. Adam Morton to come in at DM. Isak to come in up top, and the dream one's Leao, but the more realistic one's
Loic Bade.
Yeah, because unlike you, I'm not saying Nico Schlotterbeck's going to come in and be a backup for Virgil van Dijk.
Bade. We're trying to win the quad, bro. What are we doing there?
Yes, I have my starting centre-back options. You're signing Nico Schlotterbeck, who's Dortmund captain, and thinking he's going to come sit on the bench.
No, he said Diamonde from Sporting, to be fair. He did.
We said we'll sign Schlotterbeck in January.
Yeah.
So what? Paul Quance is never going to play again. You just get rid of Quance.
I can't really help you there, Carl. Still, I can't.
I'm not going to lie. That's who Tom wants. That's who Tom wants. We got to defend the right for him to be allowed.
I'm just being realistic.
Bless my boys. Sam, talk to him, bro. Talk to him.
Sam, give me your fantasy 11.
Sam like he's giving up, bro.
They're the same left winger. It's either Leao or Fofana for left wing as well.
Leao or Fofana. Okay, cool.
Wow, what a dream, Malik Fofana. amazing dream.
I
Guys,
was
let's
told
stop attacking
realistic.
somebody else's
I was told
choices.
realistic. I'm operating realistically.
Man's just
If
having a
that's
go at
Tom's
the players that
choices,
he
guys,
wants
that's
to
his choices.
I
sign.
mean,
Let's
if we're
not
going
attack
dream,
his
no, Drift, let's go dream.
Bro.
So my dream
What's
is
your
that
dream car, Tom? Honda?
Nah, son, you're taking the piss.
my dream is that Richard Hughes figures out time travel, and then we go get prime Beckenbauer from 1960s
Okay, now you're doing too
or
much.
1970s. We go get prime. Who's the best here?
No one
Prime
said
Patrick
that. You're doing
Vieira
too
from
much.
2002.
No one's listening. You're doing too much.
Then we'll get prime Ronaldinho from 2004, and we'll go get prime Pele from 1950 and play him up top.
And
That's the
Szoboszlai
dream.
would still have to start, even with Ronaldinho.
Yeah, because I need someone to do the covering work, Sam. Obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Sam, back to this part was supposed to be fun.
This is
You
I'm
guys-
gonna still.
You're not
arguing,
just
bro.
attacking Tom for his trade. That's who Tom wants.
That's who he. That's who
I
he-
was told realistic. I'm just operating realistically.
Tom's dream car is Fiat Punto.
Hassan, the floor is yours, Hassan. Who are you? But remember, I did say realistic fantasy. No killing Mbappe's and you know what I mean, like realistic fantasy.
Realistic fantasy: Rodrigo, Isak, Wharton, and centre back is a tough one. Realistic fantasy, I'd say, Bastoni.
Okay. Realistic fantasy, and you're going saying fucking Bastoni, you won't leave into.
You said fantasy. Your fantasy is like Bade. Have a day off.
Yes, because I followed along the realistic side of it.
At least when I fantasize of a player playing for Liverpool, I say Bastoni. Your fantasy.
Why do you just ignore half of what Drifty says?
Yeah.
Drifty said realistic fantasy, and you just ignored half of what he said.
Yeah, you could have said Mark Guehi as well. Is that your fantasy too?
No, because I don't want Marquez. I want no Bade.
Mateta's my fantasy, guys.
Yeah, why you fantasize about a Fiat Punto up front?
To answer the first question, anyone could jump in on this. Is there a world we live in where Liverpool, obviously this would include outgoings, could pull off what Chelsea did, which was a £700 million window?
No.
Is
is
there any world where, I mean, not to that extent, but like a £400 to £500 window? Obviously, there'll probably be about 200 million that would come in because we sell the likes of your Diaz and your Elliott's and your Endos and Chiesa and Jota and Nunes. Those players would go, so it probably would generate about 200 million from incomings. Is there a world that you lot live in now? Has Florian given you any extra confidence that we could live in a world where, including outgoings, Liverpool do spend 400 to 500 million?
We're smart. We're not stupid when it comes to Liverpool. You see, Chelsea, they're stupid. I'll tell you why they're stupid. Drift, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, they bought Madueke, Pedro Neto, and who's the other one that's been banned temporarily? Mudryk.
Mudryk.
Yeah, is that all their wingers, or am I missing out another winger?
That's the one. That's the window. That was last season, wasn't it? Hold on.
It might have been. But what I'm saying is they got a lot of wingers, yeah, and obviously they had Sancho on loan, yeah. Bruv, they're now trying to get Jeremy Gittins. Yeah.
Forget about the fact that their strategy is terrible in terms of they don't seem to scout properly. I'm just talking about money spent.
It was how they got the money, though, Drift. It's how they got the money. So they sold like fucking hotels and
they sold the women's team to themselves. Remember?
Yeah, they like bent all. I don't think you'll see.
I don't think they did that back in 22 or 23.
They sold all the hotels.
Now this is just now. What I'm
saying, I'm talking about when they did that big ass 22, 23.
Yes, and that was when they were able to amortize it over 8 years rather than the new law, which is 5. So Mikhailo Mudryk got a 9-year contract.
Yeah, what I'm saying is this though. We won't need to operate like Chelsea because Chelsea's approach is we're going to buy a load of players. One of them will work. That's how they operate. If we buy 5, 6 players every window, if we get 2 that work, cool. We actually have a strategy. We brought a left back in.
That's what I'm saying. Forget about.
We're not going to do so. Even though we bought Florian Wirtz,
yeah.
We're not going to suddenly just go. We're never going to do, for example. All right, then we'll sell Nunes and Jota, or we're going to bring in Isak and Alvarez. No, we wouldn't do that because obviously one of them's going to want to play
that's ridiculous
all the time. The other one, do you know what I mean? It'll be problems. Hence why Man City find it hard to keep Alvarez at, you know what I mean? Haaland was always playing majority of the time, right? We are smart with our business. We are shrewd. What we do is we identify where our weaknesses are, and that's where we try and strengthen. But this time, I would say we've done it ever so slightly different because Florian Wirtz, in my opinion, is that player that he probably wasn't on the agenda at the time of the transfer window opening. We saw an opening for one of the best players in the world and thought, wait a minute, he's available. All right, we got to go for this. Whereas the others are planned. Kirkes, left back, we needed one. Frimpong, right back, needed one. We're going to probably go and get a centre back as well. A centre back because I'm not too sure if Leverkusen still want Kwanzaa. And Joe Gomez could also leave as well. You don't know what's happening with Diaz. So I think Liverpool, if they let Diaz go, we bring in a left winger. So I don't think it's going to be some crazy spending.
All right. Let me simplify
You know what I mean?
it then. Let me simplify because I think my question, because I said Chelsea, people are thinking like I'm just saying this.
Okay, we're going to spend more than what we're used to spending.
It done. Is there a world then? Let me simplify it, Hassan. Is there a world where you have faith that Liverpool end the window and we've signed 2 players that cost more than 100 million?
There is a possibility where we sign Isak, but it depends on the price tag. It depends on the money. It depends how much Newcastle want. Depends who we're selling.
Do you believe this window shuts and Liverpool spent 200+ mil on just 2 players?
Probably not.
Tom, do you think we live in that world?
What will you get? Isak and Wirtz?
Not necessarily Isak, just 2 players that cost more than 100 mil. So it could be Wharton. In your case, you want Wharton. 2 players that cost 100 mil. Do you think we live in a world where that can happen?
Depends how that 100 mil. If it's like 100 mil, just potentially then. But I do think it's quite unlikely. I wouldn't be shocked if you saw us pivot from like an Osimhen to or a Isak to an Osimhen type thing where the deal is, because they'll take a case or something. It looks better on the books that way. So I'd love it to happen, but it's just everything starts adding up quite quickly at that point. Wirtz 116, Isak could be best case 130. That's closer to 250 on 2 players. Kirkes 40, Frimpong 30. That's another 70 on top of the 250. You're already on 320, and we're still saying at that point we could do with potentially a left winger, a centre back, and the midfielder. I don't think it would happen like that. I think if we're either not gonna buy in all them positions, or if we're buying in all them positions, you're not gonna see another £100 million player.
Matt, do you think with the window shuts and we bought 2 players for over 100 mil?
It's not impossible, but I don't think it's probable. That's the thing, innit? Like, it's not something that can never happen, but I don't see it personally. I think it could be close, though. It could be like 78. I think the striker, here's the thing, the striker won't be cheap, though. That's another thing. Because the way how the market is, I don't think you're going to pick up any decent striker for like 40, 50 mil. It's probably going to be about 70, maybe even close to 80. So I won't break the 100, but I think could be close to that. And I think 1 out of these 3 strikers, Isak, Alvarez, or Ekitike. I know people won't like me putting Ekitike in that group because the other 2 are just clear of him. But I still think Liverpool are still going to get a striker because we got to look at, without going back to the debate we had earlier on, what Florian Wirtz is going to bring to Liverpool is going to create bag of chances. Someone needs to bury those chances. And that's when I think Liverpool obviously know what he's about. They're going to be like, we need to get you a striker because we saw what you had to do with Patrick Schick and Boniface, and you still won the league. So if we go and get you someone even of that ilk, then we know you can cook. And you still got Salah, and you still got a Gakpo. And I don't know what's going on with Diaz. That's why they include him. But you get the premise, though.
Fair dues. Right, I'm going to finish up with the super chats and we're going to wrap up the show. To throw in my 2 pence, just to give maybe a little bit of confidence to the people because they said Matt's being a party pooper. He's just being realistic, guys, but people are saying you're being a party pooper, Matt. So really? I will tell you the reason why I think we will buy £200 million players, because I believe the club are looking at the market. They're looking at the fact that they want 80 to 100 mil for Gyökeres. Apparently, that is the reason now where no one's been looking at him so far, because that whole Harry Kane situation is happening where it's like, what gentleman's agreement? Bun that. You ain't going for no 60, 70 mil. So apparently that's why no one's looking at Gyökeres. Sesko, 80 to 100 mil, the quotes. Ekitike, 70 to 90 mil are the quotes. Osimhen, ridiculous wage demands. You're looking at the market and everybody's very expensive and not actually worth it. So I think Liverpool are going to go, do you know what? Alvarez or Isak's actually worth it. I'd rather pay 30 or 40 million pound more and get the player we want than pay 80, 90 mil and get one of these guys we don't know. Will it work? It's a risk, yada, yada, yada. So I think logic suggests that you get the player you want for more than still paying a lot of money for somebody you don't actually want. That's me not even being fantasy. That's me just actually trying to apply logic to the situation. We will see. We will see.
Yeah, that's kind of the premise, though. That the here's the thing. I think we can afford either Isak or Alvarez. It's just whether the team makes them available. I know everyone has a price, but again, we had to be smart with Florian Wirtz. They kept on. They didn't win a budget for that 150 million euros. We didn't pay 150 million. We didn't pay 126 million pounds. We paid 100 with bonuses up to 16. So we'll have to wait and see.
Money talks, man. Money talks. LFC, for big games, we can have left back and right back stay back a bit. Promo.
No, you can't have a game without Szoboszlai.
Thank you, Hassan. You get it now.
Serious question. Promo said serious question before everyone shouts at me for asking you his question. McTominay or Szoboszlai?
I can go really low here, but I'd never go that low. Szoboszlai is definitely better than McTominay.
Yeah.
Put Dominic Szoboszlai in the Serie A. Let's see him do the same thing.
He's saying it's McTominay for him. Zoeb, the old curse is dead. Long live the curse. Big up Gaz, as always, says best YouTube channel, and this collab insane. Big up yourself, brother. This is like Maya, old school Khalees, Christina Milian, and Stacey Dash before she went weird. Hashtag, elite. You'll never Wirtz alone. Big up, guys. I like that little.
Guys, unfortunately, I've got to shoot, guys. I've got to shoot.
Cool.
Big up you, man. Smash the like button, people. No more arguments, guys, as well. No more arguments.
No, I'm wrapping up now. We're not having any more arguments.
Big up you guys. Big up Sam. Big up Tom each and every time.
Make
sure you go on their channels and give them make sure you subscribe to their channels as well. People.
Thank you for rejecting Man United. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Anytime, bro. Anytime. You know you can't stand them anyway. And Buemo. Big up you lot. Big up.
Big up Gas again. Says get me Hato, Edison, Rugtugi, or Schick.
A fellow Retegui enjoyer, Gaz.
Someone has been subscribed to Tom Little on YouTube, clearly.
Noor says Isak, Alvarez, Hato, Wharton, Nico, Williams if Diaz goes. I'm guessing this is people just giving what their fantasy transfer window be. I like the idea of that one. I'm not gonna lie. No, I would probably say. I think you said this as well, Tom. Isak and Wharton in the same window when you've already got Wirtz. Like I don't even know if even I believe that would even be possible.
Yeah, that's mad. That's mad.
I'll also be honest. I don't think Joel Hatto's a centre back. I've maintained this from the start. I think he's more of a left back.
More of a left, but I liken him to like a Joe Gomez, where it's good to have a player that can play multiple different roles in the back line. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I got you.
Jay says, can't Sobo rotate with Mac Wirtz, Mac Grav? I think that will be what we do. I think we will do a lot of rotating. There'll be different players, horses for courses, man. It will depend who we're playing, who's injured, who's available. Fonzie, in school, they asked Tom, what's your dream job? He proceeded to say a dog walker. When the teacher said dream even bigger, he said to be Sobo's dad.
Providing realistic dream options, people. I just heard realistic.
Everyone put MW in the chat for Fonzie. That's an elite super chat right there.
Fonzie's been on Tom for this stream, bro.
Yeah. Fonzie is part of my toxic community, so he has a toxic nature.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Big up Fonzie.
Big up Leo says TK Edison for CDM. Joe and Kwanzaa stay. Ibu signs. I'd be all right with that. I mean, it's not my dream, but I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Alex, big up, man. 25 months a member. Absolutely appreciate you, my bro. Or girl, could be because Alex, obviously. Over 2 years. Let's go. Love the content, lads. You'll never walk alone. Big up yourself, Alex. Jay, Victor Osimhen rejected Saudi money. Can't be wages.
I think there is something bigger to this Osimhen thing. I don't know.
Would you think he wants to play at a lower level?
Straight up trade Nunes for Osimhen. You guys taking it?
Yes,
yeah,
obviously.
At this point, I would, yeah.
No, I'm saying if Napoli don't want any money, they just say give us Nunes, we'll give you Osimhen. You guys cool with that?
I don't want to get into an argument, but I don't think that in terms of actual quality, Osimhen is better than Nunes. But Nunes' time is done at Liverpool, innit? Like in terms of like it's not work, people don't like him anymore. Yada yada yada. I would do it. I'd swap him right now. Like it's you know what I mean? It would be worth a go.
I think with Wirtz playing in the 10, I'm not even gonna exaggerate. I think you could actually unlock the best out of Osimhen. You know what I'm saying? Like I really think even if Osimhen is just a goal scorer and nothing but a goal scorer, he could bag like 20 Prem goals.
Drift.
Probably.
I got a lot of time for you. Please don't tell me you actually believe there's not that big a difference in quality between Nunes and Osimhen.
I don't.
Oh no.
It's fine. You look, yeah, I know anytime Nunes is mentioned, everybody falls out. It's fine. When he stays and he's got to play next season,
Victor Osimhen fired Napoli to a Scudetto.
Yeah.
There's levels to this game. Victor Osimhen got like 40 goals this season. Nunes got 6.
In Italy. I think if Nunes goes Italy, he scores 30 goals as well.
Oh my god.
If he leaves, we will see in it. We will see. Jay says, got the fee wrong. Fab got the fee wrong. It must be talking about Wirtz, I'm guessing there. By the way, did Nunes not score 30 goals in the Portuguese league?
No, he scored 26.
Okay. In a team that wasn't as good as that Napoli team. Anyway. And
Benfica in Portugal. Benfica in Portugal are better than Napoli in Italy.
Yeah, Benfica in Portugal.
No, not the year that Napoli won the league. They were.
Yes, they are. And the opposition is way weaker. Academica, Boa Vista. Come on, man.
Osimhen had Cavastalia constantly providing him with crosses, assists, etc. Let's not go into this. I really don't even care about Nunes like that anymore. Let's not do this. All right, it's fine. Every time Nunes is mentioned, people fall out. It's fine. Sometimes I'll be quite honest with you. Sometimes I do it to rattle people on purpose because at this point, it's so easy. It's low-hanging fruit. Now, I say anything about Nunes, everyone loses their shit. It's so easy now, guys. It is so easy.
He's not even a fruit. He's a vegetable. That's not ripe.
Ash says, Tom search history. Sobo on holiday. Sobo feet. Sobo smiling. Oh man!
Sorry for thinking Dominic Szoboszlai is an important tactical piece in this Liverpool team. It now means I fancy him.
Barde Matugi, Prime Lizzo 2020. Your boy out. Scary times.
He's not my boy. He's not.
Flipping no.
Yeah, Tom is on his own.
Flipping no. This is hilarious, guys. That is it. We are finished. End of another.
I'm gutted Cal's gone again. I need to ask Cal when we're doing this quiz. This quiz that he's so insistent he's going to win on.
I tell you what, I'll get it done.
Be such a fucking bum when you do this
quiz. I'll get it done. I'll get it done. If the quiz is what you want, the quiz is what you'll get. I'll get that done. I'll make it happen. Don't worry.
Hey Sam, are you telling me you're not confident of beating Cal in this quiz?
You're gonna ask Callum like, who did we sign for?
We're not asking Sam. We're not asking the questions. Those two are.
No.
By the way, I'd just like to add, I'd just like to add to the few people because you know what's crazy about we do, guys. I know you, Hassan, you probably get this. Actually, no, both of you probably get this a lot. Isn't it amazing that you'll say something and somebody will hear what they want to hear? Isn't it amazing? At what point did I tell you, lot, Nunes is better than Osimhen? Did I not say I think they're on the same level?
You said
at what point did I say? But people just hear what they want. It's amazing how people's ears hear what they want. Anyway, Hassan, Tom, it's been a pleasure. Big up your damn selves as always, guys. Link will be in the description to both channels. Make sure you go and subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate all of you guys. There's been over 1,800 of you in all platforms across the whole stream. So big up yourselves, everyone. Make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. And we will be back tomorrow of a pre-record. We have a nice little surprise pre-record for you guys tomorrow. And obviously, if any news breaks over the weekend, we will be back. If not, we will be back on Monday. A shout out to anyone who wants to continue to feel toxic. Join me and Ends on Big Up, where I'm going to break down a show which I'm entitling Why I Backed Nunes While He Was at Liverpool. So if you don't want to be rattled anymore, I'm going to be doing that video over the weekend as well, people, okay? And there will be visual evidence as to why he's better than you will say he is. Big up your damn selves. Catch you all later. Until next time. That sounds just like...
I won't even
I'll
respond.
I'm gonna forward it to you, Hassan. I'm gonna forward it to you. What?
The
I'm not going to sign up to big up. I'm not going to sign up to big up.
The visual evidence of Sam, by the way. Like
Yeah,
not
I'll
a
choose
15-minute
my
fail
mental
come
health.
after.
Thank you very much.
It
I
will
choose my
enlighten you, it
mental
will
health.
enlighten you.
Thank you.
Big up, people. We'll catch you in another one. Peace.